A judge in Georgia has dismissed some of the counts against former President Trump, trying to understand what that means, particularly how that sets him up going forward. Wendy Benjaminson is Washington senior editor, and she joins us now. Wendy, what does this mean?
Well, it is certainly good news for Donald Trump, and I'm sure he will crow about it and offer it up as proof that these are political persecutions. However, it leaves some of the more serious charges in place. The charges that were dismissed were the charges involving that quote-unquote one of his many perfect phone calls, so quote-unquote, to the Secretary of State of Georgia, the administrator of the elections, who heard Trump say to him, I just need you to find me 11,000 votes. So that the charge was interfering with an elected official or solicitation of, bad acts. So those charges were dismissed. However, there are still these RICO charges. Those are the racketeering and influence corrupt organization charges that prosecutor Fani Willis has charged Trump with, and those charges remain. So he is still in jeopardy of a felony conviction in the state of Georgia. However, this is the same judge who is deciding whether Fani Willis can remain as the prosecutor over these allegations of favoring a certain prosecutor that she was dating, the man whom she made special prosecutor. So that's still hanging over her head. The other reason this may not be as great news for Trump as he will undoubtedly post or talk about later today is that the judge said that Fani Willis was free to refile charges in a different way. So clearly there was some technicality we don't know about that led him to dismiss the charges. I'm sure we'll know more later.
Can you give us some sense of the timeline? Can you give us some sense of the timeline for all of these charges and court cases getting resolved, not just in Georgia but elsewhere?
Well, the hopes of some, particularly Democrats, that this would be resolved before the election are dimming. Now, there is supposed to be jury selection later this month in the New York case over his hush money payments to the porn star Stormy Daniels, whom he allegedly had an affair with. That's supposed to start later this month. Trump is trying to delay it by arguing that they need to wait till the Supreme Court rules on immunity. That may not be till June. So like I said, the chances of these trials all coming to fruition before the election are slim, but they may be in progress on Election Day, which would be just another unprecedented moment in this crazy election year.
Talk about unprecedented, it is now official. The U.S. House passes the bill that would force TikTok sale or potentially face a ban. We will talk about that in just a moment, sort of what advertisers do in that kind of situation. Again, the U.S. passes bill that would force TikTok sale or face a ban as 170 million people cry, particularly teenagers, cry with pain. I do want to get your understanding, Wendy, that what is now the smoking gun case that President Trump is up against, right? Like in all the polling, there is always that one thing. If he's convicted on that, I won't vote for him. Is there a that still?
No, actually there isn't. Our Bloomberg News Morning Consult poll shows that the country, at least swing state voters, who are the crucial voters we're waiting for, are evenly split on whether they would still vote for Trump if he were convicted on any of these charges. If you just ask the question, would you vote for him if he were a convicted felon, 53% said they would not. But when you divide the cases up into the hush money payments for a porn star or overthrowing the government, they feel the same way. They're not seeing these cases as one more important than the other.